So I'm going to talk to you today about how it feels for a man to go through labor. Much as I admire women who have given birth, I thought it was about time for a male perspective. Now, I'm an immersive journalist, and what that means is I go out and throw myself in at the deep end and try out experiences and then write about them afterwards. So I'm going to give you a bit of background. I get a lot of my work from saying yes to things that other people don't want to do. So that is why, this is one of my pieces, I infiltrated a secret male bonding cult who went into the woods, stripped naked, banged on drums, sat around a giant wooden phallus, and talked about how women had emasculated them. It was actually the worst weekend of my life. A lot of emotional issues and scrotums, which is an unpleasant combination. I went undercover at a failing school, and I got a job teaching German and maths, even though I can't speak German, and I don't know what a square and a hypotenuse is. I spent an entire week only eating eggs to see what the effect would be on my body. I'm not going to go into the details on that. I was severely sleep deprived for over 100 hours, and I've been on all sorts of strange and weird sex and dating websites, all in the name of immersive journalism. Honestly. I've gone out and I've hunted and killed my own food, and I have also lived in an airport along with homeless people. So the most extraordinary thing, though, to happen to me recently wasn't actually connected with work. I went and watched my girlfriend give birth. And it was a really hard labor. It went on for 40 hours. It was full of complications. And then afterwards, a few weeks later, I was telling this story, as new parents do. They tell the story over and over again. And I said that the hardest part of the whole experience was that I only had a chair to sleep on for 3 days. And my girlfriend was there, and she looked at me, and she looked furious. And she said, and it was a mistake. I didn't mean to say it. I don't know why I said it. But she said, women's bodies are amazing, and you have no idea. You will never have an idea about the type of pain that women go through. And I thought to myself, but maybe I can. So I went and researched it, and I found a place that was prepared to inflict upon me the pain of labor. And funny enough, it was the place that you're allowed to do all sorts of things you probably shouldn't. It was in Amsterdam. And I went back to my girlfriend and I said, I found a place that I can actually go through what you went through. And she said to me, I think you should definitely do it. And in fact, she was really very, very supportive about me doing this. So we went to Amsterdam, and it was a proper birthing suite. Women were going to give birth there. And there was a nurse, and they even gave me a midwife, and a machine which was going to pass electrical currents into my stomach. And it's a machine that's a medical machine that's usually used for people who are temporarily paralyzed to help them exercise their muscles when they can't do it themselves. And I asked the nurse there why she was prepared to do this to me. And she said that she really wanted men to understand what women go through. And I thought, that might be true, but you could also be a sadist. And then I stripped to the waist, and they attached the electrodes to me, And pretty soon I was having my first contraction. It lasts 30 seconds, and it's every 7 minutes. And it made me feel pretty sick. It was very uncomfortable. It was like someone was poking my guts with a stick. And this went on for about an hour. And then the nurse said, it's time to go to stage 2. And I thought, that's very quick. But she was insistent that we only had the room till 4 o'clock. And so I had to go on to the most intense part pretty much straight away. So then we went into stage 2, and actually this was the bit where it stopped being funny, and it was really very, very painful. Now, I've had an impacted wisdom tooth in the past, I've had a severe burn, and I've broken a rib, but nothing prepared me for the pain that I went in. It was like someone was pushing down on my stomach so hard that it was going to come out my back. And then someone had stuck a knife in and moved it from side to side. And this went on for 2 hours. And I was absolutely shattered. In between the contractions, these contractions are now 45 seconds long, and they're every 5 minutes. And I was absolutely shattered. And then she said, well, you would be dilated if you were a woman, fully dilated nearly. So we're going to go into the final stage. And here I've just got a short video clip to show you exactly what it looked like, because I thought you might want to know. Ah! Fuck. Oh, thank you. You were laughing, but now you're clapping. But it was at this stage that I asked for an epidural. But sadly, it wasn't on offer. Although the nurse did say to me, you can have a paracetamol if you want. And I thought of all the things she could have offered me in Amsterdam, that seemed a little bit unfair. And then at this point, so I was still going through the final stages, and my girlfriend came over and she held my hand and she said, you just need to breathe through it. And she said, I'm here to help you. And I said, don't touch me. Which funny enough, is exactly what she had said to me when she gave birth. So as I was going through all this pain, I suddenly started to feel a bit stupid, because I knew that my girlfriend had gone through an enormous amount of pain. I'd seen it in her face, so I wasn't really learning anything there. And I hadn't carried a baby for 9 months. I hadn't felt sick every morning. I certainly hadn't given up drinking for 9 months. And finally, I hadn't, of course, pushed a baby out. And of course, a baby looks like that. That's Leo. And he's sort of the most kind of immersive, best immersive experience in a way. But if you don't get one of those, what was the point of what I was going through? And then it suddenly hit me, and I was learning something that I didn't expect to learn. I was learning that the body, the human body, looks after you in an amazing way, and it protects you. So I almost had an out-of-body experience. I was looking down at myself, contorted with pain, and time and space sort of became distorted. And as it grew in intensity, I realized that was my body's way, because there was nothing else to focus on. So that was my body's way of getting me through it. The people in the room disappeared. And to me, the way the body looks after you when you're going through such an intense experience was a real eye-opener. So that's where we were. And as I started to think to myself that that's the thing with immersive journalism, that you always learn something, but you don't necessarily know what you're going to learn. It's always unexpected. And I thought back to all my other experiences. So when I was in the woods with the men, I thought I was going to learn about men's role in society today. But actually I learned that those men on the course just wanted to feel like they weren't alone for a change. And when I went into the school, I thought I was going to hear about really demoralized teachers and bad kids. But I actually understood that it's kind of sometimes easier to say a school is rubbish than to fix the problem. And when I went on this website for married people to have affairs with other married people, I thought I'd find out how hurtful and seedy the whole thing was. But what I actually understood was that people really just want to feel a spark in their life. So that's the thing with immersive journalism. You learn things that data and statistics can't teach you. And if you go outside, or certainly when I have gone outside my normal environment, I always learn things in a different way. And I get fresh ideas, and it changes my perspective, and it challenges me. So if you step outside your comfort zone, and you say yes to the things that perhaps you wouldn't normally say yes to, and you try and walk in someone else's shoes, or you feel their pain, then it will only take you so far, but where it takes you will always be somewhere new. Thank you very much.